So to start off with, my client gave me a plastic mailbox to paint. Now acrylics do not like to adhere to plastic, so I sanded the mailbox down heavily to give it a good tooth, and then I went over it with burnt sienna, and that's just to kind of give my paints something to adhere to, and I did a thin coat to try to get it to seal to the tooth of the plastic. I discussed with the client, and they're aware that the paint doesn't adhere well to plastic, so eventually I'll probably have to touch up the design. We're both aware of it, we both know it, and we're both okay with it. So I did this for All Things Wild, which is the rehabilitation center that I work for, and they had requested that I paint for them. This mailbox is going to be used in their raptor cage just to hold supplies, like gloves and tongs and things like that. So one side of it, I decided to do a evening scene that's going to have owls on it, and then the other side is going to be a daytime scene that's going to have two hawks and an eagle on it. So I painted the sky, and then I'm airbrushing the clouds on both sides, and then the rest of the project I just painted the scene. So, and I'm not going to go through those steps and stuff, because painting this type of painting isn't really what I do on this channel anymore. I did in the beginning, and I've kind of moved to painting rocks. I really enjoy that. I do still do canvas paintings, and occasionally I will post those. But this project is the last project I did before I stopped painting, and I'm going to go into why and what has happened in the past 6 months, well, however many months it's been. Give you an update on the channel and kind of tell you where the channel is going in the future and kind of what to expect. The channel isn't going away. I will be back. It's just going to be a while. So back in March, so a couple of things have happened in my life that have kind of caused a pause in my painting. Back in March, I lost my father to lung cancer, and I think anybody who's followed my channel knows that my dad was sick. So we knew about it. We had about 2 years with him before he passed, and I felt very, very fortunate to have had those 2 years, knowing that he was sick and kind of knowing what was inevitable. Gave us time to spend, gave us the knowledge so that we knew to spend quality time with him. You should spend quality time with your loved ones anyway, but knowing that the end is coming, really kind of drives your focus with that person. So anyway, I lost him in March, which was hard. Even though you're mentally prepared for something like that, you're never emotionally prepared. It's still going to rock you. And it did me. I kind of lost my drive to paint while I dealt with the grieving of his passing. So once I'd kind of gotten over that, that's kind of when I did this project. And since the clinic had asked me to do this, I still didn't feel like painting, but I went ahead and powered through and I did this. And but during this project, I realized that I have carpal tunnel in both hands. I'm obviously right-handed. My carpal tunnel syndrome is significantly worse in my right hand, and I've been struggling with that, but to keep the channel going, I've just been powering through, but I knew I needed to have surgery. I was hoping to have surgery this year, but I didn't know when to do it because of the channel, and I didn't want to take a break from it. But since I had taken the break in March due to my father's passing, going back to painting, it was excruciating. And it took me probably 2 to 3 weeks just to get through this mailbox painting because it was so painful. So I finally decided to go to a doctor and talk to him about my options, and we did steroid shots, and it was kind of disappointing. In the beginning, it was disappointing. I thought that they didn't do much, and the doctor had explained to me that the steroid shots were going to give me an idea of what the results would be from the surgery. So not getting a whole lot of relief from the shot told me that I wasn't going to get a lot of relief from the surgery. But here's what happened is, over time, the shot started to wear off, and the pain, the original pain came back in, settled back in, and I was like, okay, so the shot doesn't clear up the pain and the numbing completely, but it did relieve those symptoms significantly. I wasn't aware of it until the pain came back, and the pain came back like within a couple of days, where it took probably a couple of weeks for the shot to take full effect, and so therefore I didn't realize it. So fast forward a little bit, I have decided to go ahead with the surgery. The problem is with the COVID-19, it's taking a while for me to get my surgery scheduled. I'm hoping to get the surgery scheduled in October. It is August 31st right now, and so I'm hoping in October I can get the surgery. So in the meantime, what I have decided to do with the channel, because having taken this break, I'm so itching to get back to painting. My drive is back. I want to paint. I want to create art, but I haven't done it because my hand is it's so painful for my hand. So I've decided that I think I can do a rock like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just whatever my hand will allow me to do. I'm going to go ahead and do, just because I'm so eager to get back to painting now. So that's kind of where I'm at with where the channel isn't going anywhere, and I want to get back to painting so bad. So just bear with me. I'm releasing this video. Like I said, this was an old video that I did earlier this year, but I've been doing some research, kind of working out some designs, and these will be simpler designs. They're not going to be as advanced, just because I don't think my hand can handle it right now. So that's kind of my game plan and kind of what I want to do. And I hope you'll bear with me and stay with me. And thank you so much for all of your support during this kind of trying time for me. I really appreciate it. So I also, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you, I do have a couple of new additions to our family. We adopted a little kitten. She's not so much a little kitten anymore. I think she's about 4 or 5 months old now. And she's adorable, so I'll show you a picture of her at the end of the video. I also, thanks to the clinic, adopted 4 what they call wedding doves, or peace doves. They're solid white doves. People will have these released at their weddings and their funerals, and what happens is they're supposed to go back to the owner of the birds, but they end up getting attacked by wildlife, hawks or something like that. Some of them escape, some of them can't find their way home. So whatever happens, we had several of them show up at the clinic this year, and we were able to save 4 of them and get them back into good health. I asked the clinic if I could have them, because we cannot release them back into the wild, because one, they're not wild birds. They're not a native species in our area. They should never be released into the wild. So I strongly beg you to never have birds released at a wedding or a funeral, because you're just setting them up for being attacked by the local wildlife. Because they're a sitting duck. They're a white bird. Nothing in nature is truly white. So they stick out like a sore thumb and makes it very visible to predators. So anyway, that being said, I asked the clinic if I could adopt them. They gave me the parameters of like the enclosure that they would need and everything. So I set forth in setting all that up for them, and I did get to bring them home. And within about 3 days, one of the females laid an egg. So I didn't know I was going to get into kind of breeding wedding doves or peace doves, whatever you want to call them. But I did. She laid 2 eggs. One of them hatched, one of them died in the egg, and she has since laid 2 more. So I've got to figure out something out so that she's not laying eggs all the time. And so, but right now I do have a baby, very young, white dove that I will also show you at the end of the video. And he's super cute. I haven't named him yet. I don't even know if it's a him. Kind of hoping it is, but I don't know for sure. I have, in my enclosure, I have 1 male and 3 females, and they pair bond for life. So one of my males and females have pair bonded, and that's why I would like another male, so that my females can pair bond with another male. Of course, then I have to deal with the egg laying and how I'm going to deal with that. So that's a whole nother subject. But so I haven't named him, and I won't know his gender until he's old enough to be taken out to the enclosure and introduced to the other birds. Then I will find out if he's a male or a female. So I'm kind of trying to decide on a gender neutral name, just in case it is a female. So if you have any suggestions, put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And then on top of that, I have, if you followed my channel, you know that I raise snakes, and I have several more additions to snakes. We're now up to 15, and 5 of them are babies that we hatched out this year, so we're kind of excited about that. So as we come to the end of this video, as promised, this is one of our newest members of the family. This is Cricket. She is a calico kitten, and she is a love bug. We got her from the local animal shelter, and she is adorable. And this is my baby dove. The mama is pictured up here in the corner, and he is only, I think now he's 6 days old. So cute. Tell me he's not so ugly that he is adorable. I just love him so much. Oh, I can't wait for him to get older.